even before court papers were unsealed this past Friday showing agents recovered documents labeled top secret as they investigated potential violations of 3 laws. The subsequent FBI search of former President Donald Trump's Mar-A-Lago estate sent waves across the United States. So stay tuned to find out everything you need to know about Donald Trump's recent FBI raid and what internet personality Ben Shapiro has written about it. Trust us, you don't want to miss this. Firstly, Ben Shapiro has given his take on the legitimacy of the recent Donald Trump raid. Here's everything he had to say summed up. The FBI raided former President Donald Trump's Mar-A-Lago estate in Florida last week. They based their raid on the alleged rationale that they suspected Trump of mishandling classified information, along with taking home materials meant for the National Archives. Now, the search, according to Shapiro, appeared to be focused on material that Trump had brought with him to Mar-A-Lago. Those boxes contained many pages of classified documents. Now, Trump quickly expressed his outrage for the raid, stating, "This unannounced raid on my home was neither necessary nor appropriate after working and cooperating with the relevant government agencies. Such an assault could only happen in impoverished third world countries. They even robbed my safe." As of late last week, we had not seen the warrant for the raid, the warrant application, or the underlying evidence. And to put it mildly, the justification for such a raid appears to be extremely flimsy. If the raid's foundation is anything less than rock solid, the most serious questions of political legitimacy will be raised, according to Shapiro. So given the FBI's behavior over the last few years, suspicions are certainly warranted. The FBI spent years conducting a thorough investigation into Trump's campaign and presidency, all based on speculative nonsense compiled by the Clinton campaign in the form of the infamous Steele dossier. FBI Director James Comey appeared to spread that nonsense by presenting Trump with the dossier, despite the fact that there was actually no evidence that the dossier had any support. There is a reason why, in 2018, only 45% of independents and 39% of Republicans said they trusted the FBI the most or all of the time. But this all sounds confusing, we know. So what exactly were they looking for? So, what are they exactly after? The FBI seized inventory from former U.S. President Donald Trump's Florida estate, including top secret materials, photo binders, and information regarding the President of France. Now, the contents of the sought-after document were finally revealed after Mr. Trump's lawyers decided not to seek a federal court injunction to prevent its release. The search warrant was also made public. It confirmed that federal agents were looking into potential crimes involving the mishandling of government secrets. The property receipt, which was given to Trump's attorneys following the search, listed approximately 20 boxes in total seized, including 11 sets of classified documents. Some seized documents bear the designation Classified, TSSCI, which stands for Top Secret Sensitive Compartmented Information. The receipt makes no mention of the contents of the documents. However, the U.S. government classifies sensitive information into 3 categories: confidential, secret, and top secret. To gain access to sensitive compartmented information, the highest level of security clearance is required. Such documents should only be stored and viewed in special secure facilities, not in golf clubs. Members pay to gain access to Mar-A-Lago, which means that anything stored there could be vulnerable to America's foreign adversaries or spies. One of the first items on the list is oddly labeled info regarding President of France. It is unclear what the information is or whether it is related to the current French president, Emmanuel Macron. However, Mr. Macron and Mr. Trump were both sworn in the same year, and their initially cordial relationship quickly deteriorated. Mr. Macron hosted his U.S. counterpart at the top of the Eiffel Tower in 2017, but disagreements over foreign policy caused the fast friends to split up. Within a year, Mr. Trump was regularly tweeting at him. The list also included documents related to Roger Stone's pardon, one of Mr. Trump's longtime allies. So what does this all mean for Donald Trump? Mr. Trump issued a statement shortly after the 7 pages of documents were officially released, claiming that he declassified everything he took with him from the White House. "Everything has been declassified," he wrote. "It was in a secure storage facility with an additional lock installed at their request. As Commander-in-Chief, the President has the authority to classify and declassify most information at his discretion, and Mr. Trump did so on a regular basis during his presidency, even tweeting top-secret images of the aftermath of an accident that took place at the Iranian space facility. However, the assertion would be difficult to prove without a formal, written record confirming he declassified the materials. However, it may not matter in the the end, because the criminal laws cited in the search warrant apply to mishandling of certain government documents, even if they are declassified. The most serious crime that was listed on the warrant, a violation of the Espionage Act, carries a total sentence of 10 years in a federal prison. The other two laws, 2071 and 1519, make it a crime to damage or conceal official U.S. documents and are punishable by 3 to 20 years in prison, respectively. In other U.S. politics news, the recent climate bill could do more good than harm, according to some. Here's what you need to know. Have you ever wondered what laws and bills are being passed regarding the environment? Well, according to frontline community groups calling on Joe Biden to declare a climate emergency, the landmark climate legislation, which was passed by the Senate after months of wrangling and weakening by fossil fuel-friendly Democrats, will do more harm than good. The Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, IRA, if signed into law, would allocate $369 billion to reduce America's greenhouse gas emissions and invest in renewable energy sources, a historic sum that scientists estimate will result in net reductions of 40% by 2030. Now, you must be wondering the significance. It would be the first ever very significant climate legislation passed in the United States, which has historically produced the most greenhouse gas emissions of any country. However, the bill makes a slew of concessions towards the fossil fuel industry, including mandating drilling along with pipeline deals that will harm communities from Alaska to Appalachia and the Gulf Coast and bind the United States to climate-warming energy projects for decades. Many environmental groups agree that, whilst the agreement will provide some long-term global benefits, by reducing greenhouse gas emissions, it is insufficient and will further devastate communities already threatened by sea level rise, floods, and extreme heat. The bill is a very watered-down version of Biden's ambitious Build Back Better bill, which was officially blocked by every Republican as well as conservative Democratic senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, both of whom have received significant campaign support from the fossil fuel industry. Manchin of West Virginia in particular is known for his close personal ties to the coal industry. While the spending package includes historic funds to combat air pollution and assist consumers in going green through electric vehicle and household appliance subsidies, the vast majority of the funds will benefit corporations more than the general public. So, what do you think about this bill? Could it do more harm than good? Finally, we thought it would be interesting to touch on just a few celebs who simply cannot stand the former president, Donald Trump. While Kanye West, Tim Allen, and Nick Bosa are among the celebrities who support President Donald Trump, there are many others who despise him. Some have used their platforms to criticize President Donald Trump's policies, as well as his controversial actions and statements. All the celebrities on this list have had a feud with Donald Trump, either before or after he was elected president in 2016. First up, TV host Jimmy Kimmel. Have you seen Jimmy Kimmel's Late Show? If you haven't, then you should certainly check it out. However, in other news, the late-night talk show host has stated unequivocally that he despises Donald Trump as president. The rest of the Trump family has been the brunt of many jokes in Jimmy Kimmel's live opening monologues. Also, when Trump slammed the 90th Academy Awards, which Kimmel hosted, on Twitter for being the lowest-rated Oscar telecast ever, Kimmel's response was epic. Secondly, the true legend Stephen Hawking. In May, Stephen Hawking said of Donald Trump, he is a demagogue who appears to appeal to the lowest common denominator. The famed scientist then led a group of more than 300 of his peers in writing a letter of warning about a Trump presidency, which read, "It is deeply concerning that the Republican nominee for president has advocated for the United States withdrawal from the Paris Accord. A Parexit would send a clear signal to the rest of the world that the U.S. is unconcerned about the global problem of human-caused climate change. You are completely on your own." And finally, Chrissy Teigen. We all know Chrissy can be pretty hateful in general. The well-known model and wife of singer John Legend, therefore, is another frequent Donald Trump critic who is not afraid to troll him on Twitter about anything. When Trump complained on Twitter about the lack of Republican support in 2017, Teigen responded, "Lol, no one likes you." This prompted Trump to block her, which the model documented with a screenshot. Donald Trump, on the other hand, was forced to legally unblock her after a federal judge ruled that his Twitter account was a public forum, and blocking users, including Teigen, was censoring free speech. And there you have it. Thanks for watching.